Okay, looks like we are live. I'm gonna wait about a minute or so. No, not even that. I'll wait a couple seconds to see just one person pop up, and I'm just gonna start babbling on at the mouth. Welcome to today's episode of CashFlow Chill. My name is Chris Carrillo. Hopefully, if I have not had the opportunity to meet you, hopefully one day I'll get to meet you. But today we are talking about what I believe is the greatest, the most well-kept secret of the wealthy. This is going to be a quick, maybe 10-15 minute conversation, me conversing with the phone. And then if you have any questions, leave them in the comments section below, and I will gladly do my best to answer every single one of them for you. Okay, so today's topic is on emotional IQ. What the F does that have to even do with creating wealth? Okay, so I'm going to give you a little backstory on how I discovered this, and then what I'll do is talk about how I applied it to my life, and then how you can apply it to your life. So hopefully I can give you a 1, 2, 3 step to be able to punch through and maybe break through some barriers that you might have. So the secret to the wealthy, and I'm just going to lay it out for you, is emotional IQ, right? So most people, when they're asking for God to deliver wealth to them, what they're really asking is, hey, God, help me develop the character skill sets that are going to be necessary to get to that point. And then you start getting built up through trials and tribulations. I have friends that are worth tens of millions of dollars, hundreds of millions of dollars, and a handful of people that I've met that I can actually converse with that are worth billions of dollars. And the one thing that they all embody is that they have a very, 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 very high emotional IQ. And so what the heck is emotional IQ? Let me break it down, how easy it is for me to understand it. You know, when you're maybe fighting with your significant other or your girlfriend or boyfriend or whatever the case may be, and you're fighting and you're in argument, and then an hour later you say to yourself, dang it, I wish I would have said that. Well, what happens is when emotion is high, intelligence is really low. Whenever you can understand how to train yourself to keep your emotions in whatever situation they are, if you can train yourself to stay even keel at any point in time, no matter how difficult the situation is, you're going to be able to be a better spouse, a better boyfriend, girlfriend, a better communicator, because you can hold your emotions at a certain level, right, where you're not getting messed up in your head. Whenever emotion's high, intelligence is really low. And so having a high emotional IQ will put you in that situation to be able to, when it comes to negotiating, think about this, right? I'll go into the story and how I developed the emotional IQ. But for those of you that are watching this that are entrepreneurs, you're wholesalers, think about this, right? You're walking through the door, you negotiate, you knock through the door, that emotion's really high, the energy is like really like scary. So sometimes what do we call that? Vomit at the mouth to a seller, and then we put ourselves in a tough situation that we lose a contract to somebody who has been able to control their emotions in a tough or intense situation. So think about this, right? Money tends to raise people's emotions. Whether you're exchanging it or whether you're receiving it or whether you're giving it to somebody else, money puts you in a situation where you have those emotions rise really, really high. So when you're communicating to a seller that I'm the best person and I'm selling the confidence that I'm the best person to buy your house, what are you transacting? Confidence, meaning that I know what I'm doing. I can control my emotions in a tough situation. So when a seller is selling you their house, that's the most valuable asset that they are ever going to possess in their lifetime. So what does that mean? They're thinking about dollar amounts. That emotion's really, really high. Whenever you are going to sell a house or buy a house from a seller, you have to pinpoint their emotional tie to that and what's going to get them to exchange a higher emotional value. You ready for this? This is a golden nugget I didn't think I was gonna throw on. This is what's given me the unfair advantage to be able to create from nothing. I don't care what happens in life. You can take away everything. I can go recreate for the one simple fact. I can articulate confidence to a seller that I figure out in their motive in the first 5 seconds when I walk through a door, what is a higher emotional value for you above and beyond this house. So when I walk through the door, I say, hey, Mr. Seller, I know you invited me, you're interested in selling your house. What's the purpose with the money that you're going to walk away with when we come to an agreement? All bull ass to the side. What are you going to do with that money? I know the motive. So what I have to do is, in a short period of time, articulate to the seller what I can do to help them get there. Not, I'm going to do this with the house, that with the house. The motive is the most important aspect of the sales transaction for the person making the decision. A little golden nugget for y'all, for those of you that are taking notes. All right, so back to the secret, to the greatest secret of the wealthy. If I can put you in a situation to disrupt your emotions, I win every single time. I win, you win every single time whenever your emotional IQ is. I wasn't always like that. Now, I'm not one to talk about the signs of the universe, all that good stuff, but let me share something with you that I think is very funny, right? I'm a Cancer. If you know anything about Cancers, we are the most emotional creatures in the world. If you're a woman and you're Cancer, that's a whole different ballgame. I know how that works. But the idea that I'm very emotional because I'm a softie, right? If you know me personally, and if I allow you to get past my hard shell, see what is a Cancer, right? We have a hard shell on the outside and super soft and mush pie on the inside. If I let you pass that shell, I'm a sucker for whoever you are. That I'll love you to the end of this earth. So I'm very emotional. So as a kid, I was put in tough situations. So here's a scenario, right? How did I develop? I wasn't lucky enough to develop myself. I was put in a situation. So I'll give you a real quick rundown on how that happened. By the age of 23, I buy my first rental property. By 27, I control with myself and partners 47 rental units, $6.4 million worth of real estate. And then sometimes in life happens. And I'm glad it happened to me because I have goals to be worth billions of dollars. So I'm going to need a high emotional IQ to be able to handle that type of pressure and the decisions that come along with that. So be careful what you ask for, because sometimes God's listening and he delivers. So I said, God, help me get to where you put me on this. Help me get to the reason you put me on this earth. And so in 14 months, separation of marriage, divorce, my brother dies, my mom dies, my dad dies. 4 life-altering scenarios in the matter of, it was 2020, it was October, it was in 2015. Imagine 2020 times 4 in 1 year, right? Remember that year, 2020? Well, I had it times 4 in that year. And what that did for me is that destroyed me in every way, shape, or form. And what happened, because I wasn't dead after the fact, I developed a very high fortitude, a shield to help me through any tough situation. I always say this, I am glad that situation of life happened to me versus my competition, because nothing I can do could stop them if they were able to get past that. And what does that mean for you? Well, if you're in a tough situation, and there's plenty of people out there that are listening that have gone past very tough situations, you understand this. You're a lot stronger than you were before. And what that means is your emotional IQ is at a higher level than it was before, so you can handle more pressure, right? So now you're in a situation, right? There's the backstory of how I developed my emotional IQ. When you put yourself in a position to start negotiating, whoever has the highest emotional IQ is going to win. And so what does that mean for you? And what does that mean? How does that correlate with the wealthy? The wealthy are consistently negotiating every single day on a transaction, on a deal, on a way to speed up the process for them to get to where they aspire to be in life. They have a high emotional situation. Think about this, right? What differentiated Michael Jordan from LeBron James? I'm just going to say it how it is, right? Michael Jordan is the best to ever do it. He's 6-0 in the NBA Finals. LeBron has lost 6 in the NBA Finals. Michael knew how to handle pressure, which means he had a higher emotional IQ when the ball was on the line and he didn't pass it off to Kyrie Irving, right? Or he didn't pass it off, or didn't have other players to save him. He knew how to withstand the pressures of the media when his father was in the situation where he passed, right? And then won a title. Same scenario for you in life. What one thing, now this is the applicable part for you in your life. What one thing can you do that on a day-to-day interaction that you can say, my emotion is really high right now. How can I lower those vibrations so that way I can be a better person in my interactions on a day-to-day basis? Me, when I'm dealing with somebody hey, let me give you an example. I was working with one of my partners, and we had to deposit $5,000 in earnest money. $5,000. We were on track to make $100,000 in that transaction because the earnest money there was a typo. They accidentally sent in $500. We lost a substantial amount of money because of that one little error on a Friday afternoon at 4:30, wiring it. Forgot to press 10. Anybody would be furious that they lost a deal that cost them a substantial amount of money like that. Me, hey, you know what? I've dealt with worse. Let's move on to the next one, and let's allocate our energy to be able to pile in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more deals when you can put yourself in that situation. So ask yourself, what one thing can I do today that's going to help me, help you, help the audience, increase your emotional IQ, right? Maybe choosing not to voice our opinion. I'm very opinionated when I'm conversing with one of my friends about not liking certain things. What do? Choose my battles correctly. Choose my battles wisely, because if you don't put yourself in a position to choose your battles wisely, you're going to end up creating war with a lot of people. I've made that mistake plenty of times, if you know me personally. So that right there, my friends, is what I believe is the greatest secret that is not described to the masses, right? The masses are controlled through their emotions. You say something about the race, let's go create a riot. You say something about their mom, right? Hey, I'm gonna lose character and I'm gonna get out of character and punch you in the face, and then pick up a charge, right? Fisticuffs. So if you have any questions, choose your battles. You're the one that you have so much energy. Yeah, you only have so much. Well, actually, I believe energy is infinite, right? We can source it from other scenarios, but you got to direct that limited energy to the right avenues to get you the highest and best use of your time, right? In the last couple weeks, we've personally generated at Curlo Capital, tens of thousands of dollars in wholesale fees, wholesale transactions, because I allocate my energy towards the highest and best use of my time here on earth. But if y'all have any questions, any comments, leave them in my DM. I do my best to get back to them as quickly as possible. I'm trying to think, is there anything that I could think of that will help me help you get to where you want? We're going to get rocking and rolling here for the rest of the week. I hope this video finds you well. I hope maybe you're in a position where you don't have to develop so much emotional IQ, and you're strong and you've gotten past those times, because I know life can be tough. Oh, one thing I do want to leave you with that's on my heart right now that was just touched. Put yourself in a situation that this is my personal beliefs, that when you're going through dark times, know that there's light at the end of the tunnel. Just knowing that there's light at the end of the tunnel, knowing that tough times are going to pass, will help you prevent from making dumb decisions, right? I've done a lot of that in my life, And I just want to, I hope to share this with just one person that says, man, that one video really helped me from making a dumb mistake because my emotions were high and my intelligence was low. And I just said, you know what, I put my emotions, it was one of my mentors, guys worth $100 million, he told me, he says, Chris, when I was going through a tough situation, he said, Chris, get your emotions, put them in the box, go visit them when you make the decision for your life, and then when it's all said and done over here, you go back and you revisit those emotions, because you're going to make a lot of dumb decisions if you don't. So if you have those emotions in a box in tough situations, you can get past a lot of tough situations. And if you're in a tough situation, I'm the best person to reach out to. I don't think I outside of having a Holocaust, I'm probably the best person to reach out to. I'm limited on my time, but if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. Take care, God bless, and go kill the rest of the week. Like, just go get it, go after it. You're limited on the amount of time you have left on earth, and I just want to be a source of value to you. So take care, God bless, and we'll catch you on the next one.